A very good evening to all the ladies and gentlemen who are around the screen today for the 43rd Leadership Conversation hosted by ICFAI Online. We are excited to have a very young and dynamic leader here with us. He's an entrepreneur and he heads what is called Creamstone Concepts of Ice Cream. There's an exciting product and I'm sure there's a lot of exciting stories to be told this evening. And as much as Creamstone is interesting and tasteful, I'm sure the conversation will also be. So please look forward to having a wonderful conversation with him. And I welcome Mr. Viren Shah to this conversation. Namaste and welcome, Virenji.
Yeah, hello, sir. Thank you for the introduction.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Leaders like you who have achieved something very unique with your indulgence to have something very different. And that difference has become a very unique competitive advantage for you. And therefore, there is a huge success story that we are all looking at. I'm sure we are all glued. We are all interested in knowing more about your journey, your success, and the sensory branding strategies that you have adopted in making Creamstone Concepts a household name. What I will do is I will do a brief introduction of the speaker, and after that, we will keep it open for the discussion. We'll start with the introduction. Allow me to share my screen, please. We have been hosting these conversations for over 10 months now, and no holiday, no break. Every Friday at the same time, we are conversing with a very interesting leader, and that has happened 42 times till now, and the 43rd is in progress. As I said, Mr. Viren Shah is going to talk about sensory branding strategies, the Creamstone way. And I have my esteemed colleague, Professor R. Prasad, who is along with me. We will all have a wonderful conversation. The agenda is the first 20 minutes will be opening remarks and a presentation by Mr. Viren Shah, followed by Q&A for the next 30 minutes or 40 minutes. A brief introduction of this young, dynamic, and handsome entrepreneur. Mr. Shah is a commerce graduate and also he pursued a management education program from IIM Ahmedabad. He is the past chairman of Young Indians chapter of Hyderabad, a unique initiative by ICFAI to engage best young minds in the country's development process. The origin of Scoops, founded in 1989, it offers 100% vegetarian ice creams in a range of classic and innovative flavors, which have enabled over 5,000 outlets and 36 distribution centers. Creamstone Ice Cream Concepts was started in 2009 and later established its presence across South India. The concept of making ice cream on stone with a vast variety of customizable flavors and toppings has made Creamstone a household name. The family also owns Temptations Ice Cream brand and Hotel Haridwar in Hyderabad. The Shah family moved to Hyderabad some 5 generations back and ventured into various businesses in the Nizam's estate in Parmani and Aurangabad. The third generation brothers, Mr. Parmanand Das Shah and Mr. Madan Mohan Das Shah, eventually started Hotel Haridwar. At an exhibition in Delhi, Mr. Govind Shah saw a machine in which on pouring milk, ice cream would come out. Instead of buying ice cream from others for their hotel, they thought, why not make ice cream on their own? This was the turning point that paved the way for the emergence of Scoops. The younger generation, comprising Mr. Viren and Mr. Amrish, they started in 2004, created a separate brand called Temptations, which is close to 20 stores. They expanded in 2009, as I mentioned, introducing the brand of Creamstone, which is an interactive format where the ice cream is made on cold stone and one can customize them as per their taste. Currently, the brand is spread across probably more than 15 cities, which we will have to understand from Mr. Viren. Professor Prasad, who is my esteemed colleague, he's on the screen and he will be also moderating the Q&A sessions. And Professor Prasad is currently the head of online MBA program and he brings with himself 3 decades of rich experience. And he's an alumnus of IIT Bombay and IIM Calcutta. And he's the architect of the online program, which we launched recently. So online program, ICFAI Online MBA is a very prestigious program on behalf of ICFAI Foundation for Higher Education, which is the deemed university. ICFAI has 11 such universities across the country. One of them is the deemed university, which is present in Hyderabad. And we also have 9 ICFAI business schools. We have 7 ICFAI tech schools, 7 ICFAI law schools. All in all, we have about 20 campuses present in 17 states. Ladies and gentlemen, with this brief introduction, what I will do is I will invite, welcome, and thank Mr. Viren for agreeing to speak in our leadership conversation sessions. Mr. Viren, the floor is open now, and it's all yours. I request you to begin your talk and share your screen. Thank you once again.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sudhakar ji, for the introduction. I would like to share the screen. So to start with, I would first of all like to thank ICFAI Group for giving us an opportunity to speak at your wonderful platform. And I would like to start my journey, like how actually we have come into the ice cream business. Like as in the introduction you have shared that my grandfather and my father, they went to Delhi. Once they went to Delhi, we run actually Hotel Haridwar group of hotels. We have 3 hotels in Hyderabad with the inventory of 250 rooms. So it's located at Koti, Abbots, and Sitan Gujarat, which is nowadays an old city. People, anything towards Lakdi Ka Pool and this side of the city is the old city. So we have been running a hotel for last more than 70 years. So earlier we had a restaurant in a hotel called Haridwar Restaurant. We used to buy a lot of ice creams of other brands for within our hotels, for our own hotel. So my grandfather and father went to Delhi for some hospitality exhibition in 1989, and they saw a small machine where milk was poured from the top and the ice cream was coming from down. So they got really attracted towards it and they bought the machine. But over there in Delhi, they will tell one thing and they send one thing. So they told us, sir, you just pour milk from the top and the ice cream will come. And once they get the machine to Hyderabad, they started pouring a lot of milk, but nothing was coming out. So then again they booked the trunk call, and again they spoke to the vendor who has supplied the machine. And then he said, no, sir, that is a different kind of milk. You have to make a specialized milk with sugar, adding sugar and cream and everything. So from there, our journey started. So what to do? And ours is a very traditional Gujarati family. Once we are bought, so we have to use the machine. We just can't just keep a machine idle. So we found a vendor who can supply us a mix, who was supplying ice cream to us. We spoke to them and requested them to just give us a basic mix so that we can start making the ice cream. So he was a vendor and he started supplying mix to us, and slowly we were trying to innovate in many flavors within our hotel, that our ice creams got much more popular and people were asking for weddings and parties. We started supplying for parties, and slowly what happened is the vendor who was supplying us mix, he increased the price of mix, because almost whatever he was manufacturing, 50%, more than 50%, we were using his mix. We started increasing the share, increasing the rates of that. And then it was not viable for us to buy the mix. And that's how the scoops emerged. Then we spoke to the many vendors, and we took on board a couple of consultants, and we set up a small mini plant of ice cream in 1989. So the Scoops brand of ice cream was introduced in 1989 by the Haridwar Group as a strategy to introduce quality ice cream exclusively at the hotel, at our group of hotels. After that, in span of time, then we also launched one more brand called Temptations in 2004, where we were supplying ice creams in all hotels and all, but in the parties and all, people were trying our new flavors, and they were asking us, where can we really taste these flavors if you want to buy the ice cream, if you want to go out and eat an ice cream, where should we go? So that's how the Temptation model got evolved, where all full range of ice creams it's a company operated parlors. Even now we have near about 20-25 stores of Temptations, where we serve ice cream, milkshakes, shakes and everything. But as time passed, people needed change. we saw that there are so many ice cream companies which are there. There's so many options in the market. People are trying to source a lot of international ice cream and all. We thought when we can make a good ice cream, then why can't we come out with some different concept? So that's how the creamstone format got evolved in 2009. We did a trial at my brother's wedding where we made a refrigerated marble slab on a cold stone, and we tried with the combinations. It really tasted well, and we were getting a lot of party orders. So slowly we converted that format, and we were very afraid like how the store will perform, whether the store will do well or not. We were not keen to put up with Scoop's name. So worst to worst, what will happen? We have to shut the store, right? So why can't we make a new name? And we started with the name of Cream and Stone, because we are putting an ice cream on the stone, and it's made on the stone. So that's how the meaning, the cream stone, evolved. And we started the first store at KBR Park, at KBR Park Main Road. So I would like to just share a video of Scoops, how from where we have started and how now how automation we have done in Scoops. So this is our factory at Sagar Road in Hyderabad. So here's a manufacturing plant. It's a HACCP certified. There's an automatic candy line where you can see that once the ice cream mix is made, everything is automatic. There's no hand touch at all. These are automatic cone filling machine where you can see automatic cones are filled and packed. This is a automatic chocobar machine where a chocolate dipping is happening, and you can see how the products are made. This is an automatic candy plant where raspberry duet, mango duet is being filled. So here you can see how the lids are being pressed, how the totally cones are packed. There's an automatic line of sandwich machine. Live ice cream sandwiches are made in an automatic line. There's a hardening tunnel where the ice cream is frozen at minus 30 degrees. The packaging line, this is the ice cream sundae line. Once the ice cream mix is made, everything is automatic. This is our lab where they do the microbiological count of every batch. Whatever the sourcing of milk and fresh cream and everything is tested. And based on the fat content only, we pay to our vendors. This is HACCP certified factory. And these are logistic cold storage. You can see trucks of ice cream which is transported to the cold storage. Their Scoops factory. So in this format, so slowly that's how we grew our creamstone chain from Scoops. Then we came into creamstone from one store to slowly. First store we launched in at KBR Park Road, and second store we launched at Jubilee Hills. And slowly in course of time, from 2 to 3 to 4, then suddenly we were getting a lot of inquiries of creamstone for giving franchising, and we would like to. Then we got we were a little overconfident. What happens when your brand does well? Everyone will get a little bit of ego, and you are doing really very very well, and so many inquiries are coming. Why should we give franchising? And we are a traditional Gujarati family. Kyun apna paisa dusro ko dena? Let's do something with our own. So that's how we started our 6th store in Bombay. First company operated store in Mumbai we have started. And in Mumbai, we thought initially the sales were very good. The first year was very good. Second year was very, like first couple of months, we did really very good business. But slowly we observed that we were not able to manage well. Why we were not able to manage well? What we put systems in place, we put processes in place, but in course of time, within a 6 to 8 months of time, we could not manage and we had to shut the store. When we shut the store, we did a back working. Like we have almost invested in interiors, premium. See, where we wrong in the location was outstanding location in the beachfront. Location was very good, parking was very good, store interiors was very good. We have invested near about 50 lakhs, more than 50 lakhs only in interiors. But why? What were the factors that were, we are not able to manage well? Why we were not able to manage well? We have almost lost near about 1 crore in that particular outlet in the span of a year, and we shut the store. So by shutting the store, we thought generally people go to universities and learn so many things, and and they try to implement. But here we have not gone to any university. Business teaches you. So whatever we lost, we were okay. We have lost something. That's okay. But what are the learnings from this failure? Because this was the first failure what we have seen in the couple of years. What we have started with a new journey with a new brand. What all things we learned from this failure? We know that we lost near about 1 crore of rupee, but at the end of the day, what did we learn? Few learnings were wherever we can. You are in a what business are we in? We are in a business of F&B, food and beverage. Food and beverage. If you can monitor, if you can give time to your business, if you can manage, then you be in the business. This is our biggest learning for us. We were in Hyderabad, our store manager and our people were managing over the store. In course, there was no complaints in the product or quality, but we could not manage and we shut the store. So the biggest learning was personal monitoring was missing. Personal monitoring was missing. There were no proper systems. There was no only online system and all. Because of all these factors, there was not properly PR. The store managers were not able to keep good PR where they can talk to the guests who come so that we can cater to their weddings, their parties. It's a model of where it's a PR developing business also. Because when you come to the store, people come to your store, you talk to them. If they have any parties, if they get inquiries, you have to respond them very well. You have to show the confidence level to them. So that's how you grow your own business. So from this failure, what all mistakes we have done is we have rectified and we tried to give one franchising store in Vizag. What we thought, what all failures we have faced in this particular store, let us focus on that failure. First thing was there was no personal monitoring. So even today, if you go to our Greenstone website, if you see our site, our franchising system, we don't give franchisee to investors because there are so many people in India. I have this business, I have real estate business, I am into that business. I will put one manager and I will start one business. No, if you want to be in a food business, any F&B business, if you want to be into that, you have to give time, irrespective of how big the brand is. If you give time, you will be successful. If you keep monitoring, you will be on track. So because of that, we started first franchisee store we gave in Vizag. The owner himself was always there in the store. We have not given any seventh store for 1 year. We observed the business in off season, in season, and we have seen that what all mistakes we have done, what all things we have rectified. Personal monitoring, we have done a centralized billing software. Then we have introduced lot of processes and systems, and we kept a track for 1 full year so that we know how the business is there in season, how the business is there in winters, how the business is there in summers. So whether if we scale up this particular model, is it really worth or not? Is my franchisee person making money or not? That is very important. Because when it's your own money, you can do whatever you want. But as my family says, if it's a franchisee's money, you have to be double careful because you are answerable. They are trusting your brand. When they trust your brand, so you have to deliver. So that was the main purpose, and that's how from we were very successful from 6 stores to 7 to 10. Then we entered from one city to different cities, and today now we are there for more than 21 cities in India with near about 87 stores. So these are our pictures of few stores. This is the first this is first outlet where we started. These are one of our stores in Vizag. See, when we did the branding, when we talk about branding, people talk about so much about brand, this brand, that brand. But what we thought, what is a brand? Actually, everyone knows it's a brand and all. For us, brand is nothing but promise, just a promise. You buy something, you buy just something because you trust that brand. How do you trust a brand? Because you have experienced a brand, you start trusting a brand. What comes to your mind when you talk about creamstone? Creamstone is not just an ice cream making on a stone. It's purely an experience. You know, what is the experience in creamstone? How people serve. You come in a car, you just drive it, you drive to a store, a waiter comes to your car, takes the order, serves you ice cream on the car, in the car. You know, whatever you want to customize your ice cream. You want some jojobes, you want some jelly, you want something, you can make your own ice cream. Many people come with their families inside the store, they see how the ice cream is preparing. It's a live interactive model of ice cream. You know, in India, anything live does very well. You go to any kind of wedding, and there are so many food counters which are there in the buffet. People just see, if you want, they'll take it. But any kind of live counter, it may be a tawa mithai, it may be tawa sabji, you know, you can customize. Anything customization is a value addition. When there is a value addition, people get an interest. And in India, what happens, if example, if you go to a wedding and in one counter, if 10 people are staring at something, the 11th guy will come and see, Arey, what's happening? You know, that curiosity is always there. So what I want to drive is Creamstone is not just an ice cream. It's a purely an experience. We are not selling just an ice cream. It's a purely experience. How you serve an ice cream. We make a live ice cream waffle cups, which made in front of you in the store, and then the ice cream is made in front of you, and according to that, they served in your car. You know, it's a purely model. How you order, how is the color code of the color combination of the store, and color combination, we have kept all appealing colors in the store. You know, it's a purely food product, that to ice cream. No one decides in your example, if you're going to a mall, you are not deciding in your mind that you're going to have an ice cream in a mall. You know, you're going to buy something. You will be going to the food court, but purely ice cream is purely appealing. Jo dikhta hai, wo bikta hai. So these are few of our stores, pictures. So this is our first franchisee outlet. Below, you can see of Vijayawada in PVP Mall. That was our turning point for giving franchisee system. These are Chennai stores. So generally, we give franchisee and all. People say, why, how are you giving franchisee? We have a lot of money. Many people from Andhra call us. Sir, Maku lands unai, rental income unai, everything is there. My abbai ko business le do. Even if it is loss, it's okay to give me franchisee. We are very, very clear. That's the reason wherever you see, there are so many Creamstones open across India, but we have never shut our stores. Every store is an individual profit center, and it's a sustainable model. For me, I am not looking at valuation game. It sounds really very silly for everybody because it's not valuation game, because nowadays everybody, one store, two store, it does well. Within 1 year, we are planning to put up 20 stores and 20, everything is number game in today's world. But we are very, very particular. We are not into number game. We are only into sustainable model stores. Whatever stores we want to open, we only want to open a sustainable stores. How are we successful in doing it? If I want to give a franchise, I don't give people from Vijayawada wants a franchise in Bangalore. They say one of my close friend is working in Bangalore. I will invest. He will manage in Bangalore. We don't give. We don't want investors. We want people who can own the store and run the store. Because once, if anybody is owning it, he's giving time to the business. Once he gives time to the business, means automatic business will grow. When you're giving time when you are giving time in your outlet, in your any outlet, it may be a food and beverage outlet, it may be, or you might be in a clothing business, you might be any kind of business. If you can give time to the business, if you can monitor, if you can track your business, definitely it will grow. So that's the reason we were very clear. We don't give franchises to any investors or anyone. We need full timers. We don't give franchises to many joint ventures and partnerships also. Three friends are there. They wanted to put a store. They'll put up a store after 1 or 2 years. One partner wants to come out, and due to some obligation, illegal thing, the store will get shut. So what we do, whatever signing agreements and all we do, we had I will just share a case of Chennai. In Chennai, one of the landlords tells me, the right side of the store is not mine, left side of the store is not mine. Behind is a apartment building. In the store, if I want to put up an AC in the outlet, I will also need a place to keep an outdoor unit. Where do I keep the outdoor unit? Landlord says me, no, that's your lookout. You put it inside your store. Right side is not my shop. Left side is not my shop. Behind is the apartment thing, and the terrace is not. We don't have any rights. So what to do? What to do? So all these kind of challenges we face. So what we do, entire paperwork, and generally what happens in India, if you sign any agreement for 2-3 years, and if your store is doing really well, the 4th year you will not get renewal. Otherwise, your rent will go double. So always we try to do, whenever you are signing, if you are doing any kind of business, you want to enter into any kind of business, something, sign for minimum 9 years. Don't sign less than 9 years. And whenever you want to vacate, you give 3 months notice and vacate. But a commitment has to be there from the landlord side. Because generally that's a very common thing in India. You people invest so much and you invest so much, then your stores are doing really well. And again, the landlord eyes will go blank and he says, no, I don't want to renew I want the property for some other issue and something, and they wanted to take back the property. So why I'm sharing all these things, that these are all personal mistakes what we have done. The first KBR store, even for myself, we were not knowing how the Creamstone the brand will evolve in course of time. We signed it only for 3 years. And again, the 4th year, my rent got doubled because the agreement was not for a long term. Then again, after 3 years, again, rent got double. You will not believe today I'm paying 500 rupees a square feet. It will sound very silly to you, but it's 500 rupees a square feet. I'm paying a rent for such a small outlet. But we have learned from it. After that, we take all properties for 9 years and all. So at the end of the day, what I would like to share is, nowadays people talk about F&B business. Everyone wants to do some kind of startup. They're coming out of the college and they want to do something. There are so many entrepreneurs who want to start their own businesses. They want to do some kind of thing. But at the same time, many times what happens, location plays a very important role, especially for food business. Today, I am in ice cream business. Tomorrow, you might be in a restaurant business or any kind of business. If you ask me, what are the 5 most important things you should always keep in your mind before venturing into any kind of F&B business? So for myself, the 5 most important things are only location. Location, 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 and location. A proper parking, proper frontage of a store, proper location is very important for food and beverage industry. People think, the rent is very high. We'll put a store in some lane and all. Just for saving rent, you are thinking to put up in a small lane. But you think your time, your effort is same. Your investment is same. Your time is same. Your salaries are same. Your electricity cost is same. But only rental difference is there. So always go for high street locations. We know that it might not be viable initially, but later it will be really viable, because today businesses works on location. A very good brand with a bad location will not do well. I have many examples. For many of you are from Hyderabad. There's a place called Abbott's. World famous brand, McDonald's. Opened a store in Abbott's. Wrong location. A brand like McDonald's, wrong location, there is no parking. They shut. A brand like KFC opened. opened in Abbott's, opposite to SVH. They recently shut. No parking, it's on the signal. Such a powerful brand. McDonald's, KFC. Who are we? We are just an Indian brand. It's a multinational. Such a powerful brand with wrong location, they failed. If you have a very, very good location, average brand will also do very well. So if anyone wants to venture out into any kind of F&B business, location plays a very, very important role. So these are few of our stores which are there in Hyderabad, Bangalore, Chennai. Recently, we opened in Delhi as well. Delhi, Visakhapatnam. We are there in many parts of Pune, Indore, Raipur, Nagpur, Aurangabad. In our factories, we have also, generally when you talk about branding and all, so ours is purely F&B business and food. When you talk about food, the hazard standards and all has to be very high, because nowadays the biggest university in India is the WhatsApp university. Something happened in some store, one cockroach here and there, one video recording and forward, multiple forwards. Brands which are built across the years, just with the WhatsApp forwards, overnight it gets vanished. The brands get vanished. So nowadays F&B is so important, and the WhatsApp university is so powerful that you have to be very careful with what are you manufacturing. So recently our company has also gone for Z certification, that is zero defect, zero effect. And we are the only company in Telangana in food and beverage industry with the highest standards. And the government of Telangana, like KTR as well as Jayesh, they have honored us from the central government. We have got this Z certification for our Scoops as well as Creamstone company. When we talk about a lot of branding, see, हम तो गुजराती company है सर. We don't खर्चा नहीं करते. We do very, very less. Have you ever seen any Creamstone hoardings? Have you ever seen any newspaper articles? Newspaper ads? You will never see. What we do, हम खर्चा करते हैं, सोच समझ के करते. How did the brand evolve? We have not done any marketing. We're not doing any Facebook promotion initially when we launched. Then what did we do that? How did the brand got evolved? When I talk about branding, we have done 2-3 things. We have always focused on 2-3 things. Number one, we did a lot of promotions through movies. What happens when any movie gets released? So for promoting the movies, all film stars and celebrities come to your city. So there are many people who do this joint venture kind of thing. If I want to call Ayushmann Khurrana, here in the picture you can see Ayushmann Khurrana, you can see Vidya Balan, you can see so many other actors. If I want to call them, not even them, they are to Bollywood. From only for Hyderabad guys, if I want to call, they charge 10 lakhs, 15 lakhs, 20 lakhs. For me, I will think, my 30-40 lakhs, I can open one more store. Why should I give to one actor? So we do a tie-up. We just pay a lakh or so for a movie promotion. We also promote in all our stores. Anyhow, they are coming here. So we also want to promote their movie and we do a movie collaboration. Just by paying 1 or 2 lakhs, we do movie collaboration. We call the entire media. We make them to come to our store, make a live ice cream. And next day, all the newspaper write about how they're making ice cream, how they're eating ice cream. And that's how the Creamstone got featured in many newspapers. If I want to give a small ad in Inadu, it will cost me 1 lakh or 2 lakhs. But half of page articles come. If I call people like this, ads nobody will read. Articles everybody will read. That too with Bollywood stars and having ice cream and all. That enhances the image of the brand. That's how that was one of our approach. So if you see many articles, lot of articles, we have only taken model of articles. We do kind of events, doing some kind of events and calling the media and all, because ads generally people read, people might not read, but articles people love to read because it's not paid. So this was one of the most powerful thing what we have implemented, and very less cost. Only what we have to do is, only our media coordinators are there. So we just pay them 20,000-30,000 bucks, and next day we see near about 20-30 channels and entire media industry writing big articles and all. So it's a win-win. It's a value for money. Just in 30,000, I'm getting coverage at big articles. If I convert that into the rate of the SFT, the rate what the media charges, I'm getting I'm getting into near about 40-50x revenue what we have generated indirectly. Like we have done movies for like Azharuddin and so many other stars, Imran Hashmi, Vidya Balan, so many other actors, many articles. So many of our store, when we inaugurate many stores, like for one of the stores in 2010 for first picture, we called a US Consulate General for inauguration because he was a regular customer. So we requested him. When he came, entire media route, because generally US Consulate General never goes for any ice cream shop inauguration. That too in India. That was the first time. There are so many newspapers have written that a US Consulate General goes to inaugurate an ice cream parlor. That was the news for them. So means they accepted it. So why I'm sharing this is there is nothing impossible. We think, they will not come. What's the worst will happen? Because we are trying. We'll request, we'll try. What the worst will say, no, that's it, no. But he accepted. I'm just giving an example, nothing else. So always keep trying. Generally everyone will have its own fear. And we have our special neighbors and special well-wishers. If you want to do anything, first ready, they will be ready. Free suggestions are always, I think you should not entertain. And if you want to do something good and all, there are many people have a lot of stomach pain. Why you are doing this? It will go loss. But you take risk. But if you're doing anything calculated risk, it will really help you, and it will really help you to grow. There are many awards what we have received in last few years from Governor of Andhra Pradesh, and we got many awards from Time Food Awards and Mouchert Awards, etc. Thank you. So I would appreciate if anybody has any questions so that we can connect much more.
Yes. Yeah. If you stop sharing.
Yeah. Yes.
So that's a wonderful opening talk delivered by Virenji. Virenji, thank you very much for this. You have used the screen space to make your brand big and visible to the audience throughout. And given a chance, I'm sure you would like to keep the screen like that only and then continue the conversation. I have understood you completely now. But several unique factors that you have highlighted as part of your journey. A traditional Gujarati family, how entrepreneurial that you can get, and what kind of risk that you'll always take, is also coupled with the agility and the lessons that you have been learning when the third generation, fourth generation got into the business. I think very nice anecdotes of visiting Delhi and purchasing an ice cream machine and then adding value to it and then stabilizing and launching a brand is something very, very interesting to start with. And subsequently, as you got into businesses, you have also told us the stories of, you had the guts and the courage to admit that there was a mistake and you failed. And then you identified the problems and said, yes, personal monitoring is required and franchising is possible. Only when you own the store, you will spend your time there. And when you spend the time there, you can monitor. And when you monitor, you will definitely understand what to do and win. So the profitability and the sustainable profits of the franchisee outlet is something which is the cornerstone of your success. And that has been an undeniable focus for you throughout the session that you have mentioned. The experience that you sell and not just ice cream is the topping of the ice cream actually, and we did not expect that. So that's a fantastic takeaway for us. And apart from that, your strategy for franchising and some of the thumb rules that you follow is going to be a great guideline for many who are going to get into this business. And like in one movie, Vidya Balan said, it is entertainment, entertainment, entertainment. You said location, location, and location 5 times. And that is the key for success in F&B business when you are actually franchising. It's not the money, it's not the joint ventures, it's not investments, but it is the ownership and personal presence that will take you to success. So it's a fantastic thing and quite unconventional stuff that you mentioned in your own style in terms of branding, in terms of the choices that you have made for movie collaborations at probably 1/10 or 1/20th of the price. You have garnered the attention from media and in style, and you have got probably 40x kind of revenue indirectly from those movie promotions. You brought the stars to your outlets, and your belief that ads will not work, but articles will be read. When articles are written about some stars and VIPs who are walking into your store. Perfect recipe for the retail branding, and I'm sure these things matched with the quality consciousness and the technology that you have deployed in your manufacturing, in your logistics, and also in your stores when you keep it open. The mantra that you have followed with respect to live kitchen or live activity in food will draw a lot of people, because you have the scope to add a lot of value there through customization, and the curiosity will go on, and lots of people will always be there when you have a live counter, just like in marriages that we come across very often. Fantastic summary and fantastic initial note, and your own lessons of doing a business on variety of dimensions has been pretty interesting. So without much ado, what I will do is we'll straight away get into the questions and answers. These questions are structured into 4 clusters for this particular conversation. Professor Prasad will start with the first cluster, and then I'll come with the second, and then we alternate. And I hope in the next 30 minutes or so, we will be learning much more about the sensory branding, about the strategies, about already you have mentioned about your background, and I'm sure a few questions will put everything in perspective. So thank you very much, and I will now welcome Professor Prasad to initiate the Q&A session. Professor Prasad, over to you.
Thank you, Professor Rao. I think, there's a lot of very talented, raw entrepreneurial spirit which is being seen. I think some points have already been mentioned, and I'm sure we'll get to know a lot more as the conversation continues. I think from an overall point of view, one of the first things that I could note down is that what business are you in? It's a very critical question. It has often been asked by top management consultants, and I think it's a very, very fundamental question. What business are you in? And I think that's a very important takeaway you had, particularly when you met up with issues at Mumbai. And the second thing that I could take out from this at a slightly more abstracted level is the principles and values that you followed, which are specific to your business, which may not be followed by other business. So some of them, which I could see, is what you look for in a franchisee. I think that the franchisee needs to be there. He needs to be monitoring. He needs to be the owner. There cannot be more than one owner. I think one is that. And then you have talked about the customer, the location where the customer's convenience is looked at, the customer experience is looked at. So some points have started coming in what we see as values which are specific to the creamstone way of doing things. So I now open up the first question, which is connected. You belong to a business family, and you have, as you have mentioned multiple times, it's a very traditional Gujarati business family. And how is your approach? You have come from there, you've handled business along with the senior generation, and then you have done innovation. So what is your approach to innovation, which is different for today's context from what was done earlier?
See, innovation, for doing any kind of innovation, the pace is very important. The pace. When I'm saying the pace is very important, innovation comes from time to time. For example, today market dynamics are different. Maybe a year back, dynamics were different. And after a year, maybe dynamics might change. The adapt to change mindset is really, really very important. I will tell you my personal experience. Why is it that I'm addressing this particular answer in this question in a particular way? I have a live example. For example, you're talking about innovation in today's market, how do you see innovation to be? Maybe how best you have to innovate yourself so that you are there in the market. Okay, how we have approached adapt to change model. I want to share a small life story. Everyone can easily connect that. In 2 years back, COVID has come in picture. Everybody started taking hot. Any cold means they are running around. No cold products at all. For us, managing that time, we were near about 50, 60 stores. Plus, we manufacture in about 30 to 40,000 liters per day ice cream. Near about 1,000 plus employees are working in our company. What will be the situation for us? Can you just imagine? Government says, have something hot, have hot water. In a press conference, senior bureaucrats say, have anything hot. No one knows how COVID will behave. Initially, there was a lockdown. Lockdown for 14 days was announced by Prime Minister. Everything is shut. But what to do? For me, my rental is on. All my store rentals are on. My salaries is on. Even though I sell an ice cream or not, even if I sell a cup of ice cream or not, our electricity is on because my cold storage is on. I can't shut my cold storage because it's my product itself is minus 18 degrees centigrade. So I have to keep all my expenses are on, but zero revenue. If I think of zero revenue, how will I sustain in the business? There are so many employees are there. Their ground level employees are there from attenders to delivery boys to all, but depend on our salary. Their family is dependable on them. What to do? A lockdown was announced on 22nd March or 23rd March. One day we shut, entire Hyderabad was shut for one day, one Sunday. Then same Sunday night, lockdown was announced for 14 days. We were just surprised what to do. We were just exploring what we can do. We were exploring what is open, what is not open. When we made a list, supermarkets were open, grocery stores and everything was open, vegetables were open, all dairy product stores were open. But all ice cream stores were shut. We waited for one day. We approached the government on 24th of March. We said, okay, you say entire ice cream not allowed. You cannot open your store. Agreed. We are not opening. As the ice cream store, no, we will not open. But temporarily, we will convert all our ice cream stores to dairy stores. What we did within that one day of 24 hours, we did a tie-up with a couple of dairy products company. We told them, you supply us dairy products, buttermilk, lassi, paneer. You supply us, and by projecting in all our Creamstone stores, we put a banner, Creamstone Dairy Store. And we took permission from government within 2 days. We are converting all our stores, our ice creams to dairy stores. And that's how we would like to run dairy store, and we want to offer dairy products at cost to cost rate. We don't want revenues from that. What will I get in packet of milk, 1 rupee, 2 rupee? Cost to cost as a service. They allowed us. And if you recollect, in entire lockdown, only Creamstone stores and Scoop stores were open. No other ice cream stores were open. Because we took a fast decision. That is also innovation. How fast you adapt to change. Nothing is like always the same like streamlined thing. Challenges will come. That is one of the challenge. How you adapt to that challenge is important. How the way you think. Why it's not possible. If I think, array, ice cream is closed, none of the ice cream stores are open. Why will I get permission? I will not get. I would have just shut my store for 2 months. Who knew that 14 days will again continue to additional 14 days and again 14 days, again 14 days. No one is aware of that. But because we have taken the decision that in peak summer, we got a permission to supply ice cream to our stores because we converted all our ice cream stores to dairy stores. At the same time, we were not present in Ratnadeep supermarkets and other supermarkets. Because none of the ice cream guys were able to supply them, we took it as an opportunity. See, hey, entire Hyderabad is going to supermarkets. There is no supply of supermarkets. There is no ice cream supply in supermarkets. This is an opportunity. because you have got a dairy store permission. Let's go and supply in all supermarkets. We did a tie-up in all supermarkets during lockdown time. When entire Hyderabad ice cream stores were shut, we are doing tie-ups and we started our business and we did really very well. So why I'm sharing this example is challenges will come every day. Everyone will face a challenge. The positive attitude is important. The adapt to change attitude is important. And that's how what this is a live example I'm sharing. I don't know how many of there are few people in the room, and if you recollect, only Creamstone stores were open, and that's how people were surprised. How come Creamstone is open and all of the stores are shut? But this is the background what I'm sharing. Thank you.
Thank you. I think you have highlighted 2 points. First is that the attitude of converting a challenge into an opportunity. And that is about how you read the challenge. I think you read it in a very different way than from all the other ice cream brands. And the second is the agility you displayed in order to change and move over into that particular model. So your agility was very high, and which is a very, very important business value. So I think those 2 points are what I could get in the very, very interesting example that you took of a very, very drastic challenge. It's not just another challenge; it's a very drastic challenge. Thank you for that. I think that's very Continue, please.
At the same time, one should have courage to take a fast decision during crisis. That is also equally very important. Because of that crisis, we had the courage to take the decision of converting to dairy store for temporary. Because of that, we have generated revenue for our employees as well as for a company for paying all our fixed expenses. So this is also equally the adapt to change attitude, the courage to take decision, because many times we ask 100 people, but ask your own heart, what do you really feel? And generally you should go ahead accordingly. The pace of making a decision is also equally important.
Absolutely. I think, this courage issue is also a very important issue. And here I can recollect, your point earlier about that you asked the Consul General, at best what happens, he will refuse.
Absolutely.
So the courage to discuss and then you got the permission, which means that it was the courage which worked. So certainly, I think that's a very important point.
Yes.
The next question is, the ice cream business is extremely competitive. I mean, you've got, multinationals also into it. And yet you have created Goldstone, the Goldstone brand, and you have grown. Now from I recollect the sentence you used in the beginning that, you pour the milk and from below you get ice cream. So here, how did you reach that idea and how did you convert that idea into a venture? Can you throw some light?
Yeah. See, initially my brother went to US. He saw a couple of stores of Cold Stone Creamery. Cold Stone Creamery is a very international big chain in US. He saw in US how they make ice cream on a stone and all. So we tried that for a couple of weddings in Hyderabad for my brother's own wedding. And generally in US and all, there's more of vanilla and chocolate base. But in India, the culture is different. Indian palate is different. Indians like more of fruits, more of fresh variety, more of, you have to Indianize your product. Even the big brands like McDonald's and all, when they come to India, they Indianize their product. What you get in Indian McDonald's, you will not get that in US or maybe in different countries. You have to match that kind of taste. So that's how when you have seen, then we tried making first store of Creamstone. And now we have to train the guys. We don't know how to make an ice cream. We saw in the TV, we saw in the YouTube how they are mixing the ice cream and all. So what we did is we put up a screen in one of in our hotel Haridwar. We put one screen. If I want to send a couple of guys to US and all, it's a bomb. Again, I told you we are a traditional Gujarati family. Kisko bhijayenge? If we send one guy, 1-2 managers, it will cost like 3-4 lakhs, 5 lakhs minimum. We are very calculative. Why to want to do a trial also? We put a screen and we did on YouTube. We showed them how they are mixing an ice cream in front of stone. They put up a stone machine. Then they were trying, by seeing the video, they're trying to put, and we did a lot of trials for 2 months. And finally the end product has come out. So without any much investment, just one projector, that too on hire projector, we are able to convert that model and try to launch one first store of ice cream.
Excellent, excellent. I think, the first point I can get is that the idea may lie elsewhere, but you can contextualize your idea and you can make it absolutely suitable for your set of customers. And I think you've done that wonderfully.
Yeah.
And the second thing is how you went about implementing it. I think this is an Indian way. And I think this comes from the background that you have, and it's a strength.
We say it's a jugaad way.
Absolutely.
Indian
It's a jugaad way. It's an Indian jugaad way. And I think you succeeded in that. And I think that hard work which went in for 2 months is what a lot of people don't see, because it's absolute base level work. And you just have to be at it. You can't get disappointed. You'll have to be at it, and one day you succeed. Excellent, excellent.
But do you know that what all challenges we faced for that 2 months? You will really laugh at it. One of the guys says, "Sir, I'm making ice cream. I'm really getting tired. My muscles are paining." So we told, don't need to go to gym. You can make and you can build your own muscles. This was one of the questions what couple of our team members they so nowadays also what we do every an hour and 1.5 hours, 2 hours, there's a shift in the stone. The stone guys keep on shuffling because it's really hard when you make on the stone. The ice cream is hard. You put ingredients, you chop it, and you put it in an ice cream cup and give, and the store is more busy, means more hard work for them. So we have regular relievers for the people who are making on the stone.
I think your communication and way of interpretation and the way you handle your internal team members when they did not see the end of the tunnel with light, and you are able to see that, envision that at least in your mind. I think that also is a contributor here.
Yeah.
I move on to the third question. How do you propose to retain your competitive advantage in this very competitive business?
Yeah. So this is a very, very valid question, sir. Once our stores were doing well, there are so many different stones have cropped up in the city. There was, I don't want to name few, but everyone knows that there's so many stone ice cream parlor. And for a few years, we have seen any ice cream parlor, they want to put a stone. They buy ice cream either from any brand and they make an ice cream on a stone. But their ice cream doesn't taste well. They're not successful. Why? None of them is a manufacturer of ice cream. Everyone are retailers. And the ice cream, what we manufacture for stone, the product itself is different. It is not a regular Scoops ice cream. What I take a Scoops ice cream bulk and put it on a stone and make an ice cream, that ice cream will never taste well. Because in a stone, you are chopping an ice cream. Ice cream has its particular characteristics. It has its features. The ice cream which has to be manufactured for the stone, the product itself is different. So, and we ourselves are manufacturers. Everything depends. Generally, if you take anything, it may be a clothing business, it may be food business, it may be any kind of business. What kind of quality of ingredients you use, your end product will also come out like that. If you are using local ingredients, local product will come out. If you are using all very good high quality of ingredients, high quality of ice cream will come out. So that is where there's a difference. See, you will get a Scoops 1 liter for near about what, maybe for 200 bucks, and Creamstone, you get a cup of ice cream for 150 bucks. There is a difference of quality. How you pay, you get a quality. So what I want to drive is, how do I keep different from others is, none of the other brands are manufacturers. You can't just buy any packaged product and put on a stone and put some ingredient and give an ice cream. It will not come out because it's that ice cream is not designed for the stone ice cream. These are the biggest people who don't understand it all. So the product which goes on the stone ice cream, the product itself is different. And we are manufacturers. They're not manufacturers, not now, from 2009. In 1989, we don't understand any other business, but we understand ice cream, the ice cream texture, how the texture comes, what kind of ingredient, what kind of combination goes well. And we innovate also. keep on every new flavors, we keep on innovating. Like Kala Jamun season, we put up a Kala Jamun, we have a sourcing pulp, we source Kala Jamun, the pulper machine, all seeds get separated, the pulp gets separated. We add pulp and make live ice cream for Sitapal, for Kala Jamun and all this. No, all this innovation thing don't do. Why we are talking about all this still? The live example in Hyderabad. My store is there and an international chain, Cold Stone Creamery is next door. Just next door to me in KBR Park. You see the crowd, how is this here? See the crowd over there. They are international type, like maybe a corporate style, same vanilla, chocolate. But we have Indianized our product. What customers like, what is the liking? People need more of fruits. Nowadays people like less of sugar. They don't appreciate more of sugar. We are customizing and we are keep on innovating. That is the difference.
I think there is good insight in the response. I think the first thing that you mentioned is that you're a manufacturer, and that is not there with all others who try to compete. And that your core competence, a very larger level, you have core competency. I think that core competency is not easily gainable by somebody else unless they have done all that. And I think the very differentiating element of your core competency is the Indian angle of it, where you have far more experience than maybe some other multinational who may come in but may not have the Indian experience. And I think also the third dimension which came in was the product design. I think your core product, and particularly for a premium product, your product has to be extremely strong. If it is easily copyable, then others will go about doing it, and so that's not so easily copyable. I think all these put together, I think you have certainly built up something which is sustainable and is not very easily. Entry barrier is not as easy as it can be thought out. Thank you very much. I think last question in this cluster is, it's a bit personal. It is about, what keeps you inspired? You've held a lot of challenges. You've seen different things. What keeps you inspired in this journey of change?
The daily, whatever challenges, see, if you don't face challenge, you will really get sick. And, the inspiring thing is only one thing is you should get challenges. You should get competition. Then only our brain starts thinking. What next? What next is important? The inspiration comes from when there is a competition. The inspiration comes from when you want to do something new, you want to create something new. It is there that sparkle is always important. We get our inspiration from challenges. Why can't we do it when others can do it? Why not we? Why can't we do it? We can do it. When they can do it, why not we?
I think as someone said, the problems or challenges are the food of champions. I'm not using the right language, but there is a very popular quote that way. And I think you brought it right into the center of the way you look at things. Thank you very much. I move on to the next cluster and I hand it back to Professor Sudhakar Rao for that.
No, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I think contrary to what I imagined, there are many more stories and anecdotes with you, which you keep on sharing with us. And that gets the level up in terms of the curiosity and interest for the audience. Thank you very much, Virenji, for holding our attention like this. I'll now move to a cluster which is going to talk about sensory branding, and that's the core of the message today. So can you explain to us in simple language what is this sensory branding, and what are the sensory branding strategies that you have used in your business, especially in your Creamstone concepts outlets?
Sensory branding for me is an emotional connect. Generally, every brand has emotions. You take any brand, each and every brand has their emotional concepts. It may be rooted in human perception, through emotions, through beliefs, through attitudes, or maybe there are so many different things. For a brand like Creamstone, if you meet so many people, many people get married and all. It only take, you are from Creamstone, okay. Our courtship period, we used to go to Creamstone, we used to have ice cream, we used to sit in the car, hang around for 20-30 minutes, or your guy used to come. They have emotional bonding. It's an emotional connect. Ice cream is not just an ice cream. You're just going to a store and just taking one candy or a cone and eating and just pushing off. Creamstone has its own way. It's a purely experience model. You go there, you sit in the car, a guy comes to your car, he takes the order, then you give instruction in the car, I want something on this, I don't want nuts, I want something on chocolate, and this thing. So, there are so many things, and the way the store is done up, the way the outdoor sit out is there, the way the brand colors are there, because it's an ice cream brand, we have used a lot of pastel shades of pink and different while designing the branding. So there is a color combination is added, the experience model is added, the service mode, the customization of ice cream, the presentation, how you give ice cream. It is not just a cup or a cone. In a live raffle cup, we put on a topping, and how it is presented. So it's same ice cream. If I give without raffle cup, in a small cup, if I put in give, you will not enjoy that ice cream. Every brand has their own style of serving, and so it is not Creamstone way is not just putting one ice cream in a cup and giving. It's an overall experience. I don't sell ice cream in Creamstone. In Scoops, I sell ice cream. In Creamstone, I sell experience. People come for experience. That's the reason I'm taking 1,000, 1,500 square feet stores and all. That was just for selling an ice cream. I just need a small counter. That's it. Like how we put up in a mall outlets. In a mall outlet, it's just a counter, but it's an experience base. So for me, sensory branding is all about, there's so many factors. It's not only A plus 1 is equal to 2, nothing like that. There are so many, there are so many concepts, like there's the emotional connect, there is human perception, how you perceive your brand, how the emotional attachment is there, what is the belief is there, how the attitudes is there. Everything counts for me as a sensational ice cream parlor.
Wonderful. I think in a very brief and succinct manner, you have talked about the evolving needs of the consumer behavior. So you keep your finger on the pulse of the consumer, continuously studying them, and therefore you would like to track their perception and try and attract them accordingly. Create emotional stuff by having memories, occasions, and then that whole experience that you give through color and the space and the layout. And that is what is all about sensory branding, appealing to various senses of the consumer as required, because the profile of the consumers is changing, and that's a very, very interesting factor. Second thing that you mentioned, which is very bold and interesting, is the fact that you sell ice cream in your Scoops, but you sell experience in your Creamstone outlets. I mean, you are not only differentiated yourselves from the rest of the ice cream brands, but you're also very consciously differentiating yourself from your own home brands. So that's very good. That's very good. So what is the scope of sensory branding? See, sensory branding has now come, and it is essential. We have understood it is very critical, and the way you have done is also explained. Now, help us understand what is the scope of this sensory branding when it is virtual platforms? Because you still will have to create that curiosity, and the mind has to be made up for your brand even before they start. Not everything can be impulse in a brand like, say, Creamstone. So how do you extend the scope of these sensory branding strategies through virtual platforms?
Yeah, so there are so many virtual platforms. For example, take Swiggy itself. Swiggy is also one of the part of virtual platform. So sitting in your house, you are just a click of a button, you're ordering your food, and your food comes home. Similar way, that was the initial big challenge for us. We were the initial, when the Swiggy launched their services in Hyderabad, our company was, I think, fifth company to be on board. The first question what our team also told us, sir, how can we sell ice cream, that too in online? You're thinking, why not? What the worst will happen? So they just said, what the worst will happen, sir? It will just melt. Okay, what can we do? It should not melt. The team told, we can't do anything, it will melt. No, we can do something. Why can't we do something? Let's put dry ice. So it is not possible to put dry ice in all the outlets. It's a dry ice. It will get evaporated. You have to keep on filling the stock. I said, what the worst we'll do a trial. What the worst will happen? What the worst will happen? Ice cream will melt, right? With mails, customer will complain, we'll refund the amount. Let's do a trial. We did a trial. In the trial, initially we did without dry ice for a week. Without dry ice, we were getting complaints. Only complaint was ice cream is melting, but they were liking the service because it is getting door delivered. So what we did, we tried to again innovate, and we put the packaging material. Earlier we were giving in covers. Then we designed a cover where we put dry ice. Then that temperature loss should not happen in that packaging, and that's how we were successful in implementing. And today in southern India, we are the highest, one of the highest big consumers of online ice cream selling. And for Swiggy, we are number one account in ice cream.
That's an account of how you sold your ice cream using some online platforms in terms of distribution. But in terms of creating an appeal for your brand through virtual platforms, online platforms, of creating branding impact and deploying sensory branding strategies, how would you do that?
See, what we have done is, even if you open your Swiggy app, we have created initially, see what happens when you open any app, that appealing pictures is required, appealing photography. Earlier, we were not doing any photography, but if you get a good photographer on board, in one day, he will only shoot 4 or 5 photographs, he'll take 50,000 and go. And apna to Gujarati company, I told you again, it's a very traditional family. Just for shooting 30, 40 photographs, I can't spend 5 lakhs. Even though our brand is doing well, before spending, we think, we only told the Swiggy guys, sir, anyhow, sales is coming. You deploy your photographers, we will do a product shoot, we'll spend on this thing. And we did a collaboration with Swiggy. We did a tie-up with them. They called the Australian Master Chef. We did an event with Swiggy. We did a Australian, we call the Australian Master Chef. And we did an event, and we did a customization of ice cream. And we will not sell to Zomato or anyone. We will only sell to Swiggy. We did a tie-up for them for 6 months for only 3 flavors, what Swiggy will develop with us. So the Australian chef came to India. We did a tie-up with them, customization of flavors for a particular brand like Swiggy. Indirectly, we knew. So we developed a flavor called popcorn. He added some popcorn to the ice cream, and he developed the flavor. Recipe was given by the master chef of Australia. We did a tie-up, and we only sold in Swiggy. Even if you as a customer came to my store and ordered, it was not in the menu. It is only for Swiggy, because they have borne the expenditure of in and out of entire process manufacturing, as well as customization of the flavoring and everything. But the advantage what we got is we got a lot of mileage. Swiggy was promoting our brand online. Otherwise, if you want to promote your brand in Swiggy with banner ads, 1 lakh, 2 lakhs, 5 lakhs. Again, you know that we are a Gujarati company, we don't pay all that. We told we will create good flavors for you. We'll sell only in Swiggy. You are monopoly. You only promote. For me, all that branding exercise is done by Swiggy. He is only paying everything. I am also getting my sale. I am getting my revenue. He is getting also good sale and good commission. Win-win for him and win-win for me. So he only created the videos and he only promoted. They promoted very well, so that they should get very good sale. Because if particular flavor is hit, people can't find in Zomato. So from Zomato, they will switch on to Swiggy. So they got many customer acquisition. We got very good mileage as well as sales. We also got revenue. They also got revenue and mileage. So it's win-win for both. So anything which is win-win for both, we are very keen to it.
Precisely, this is the excitement that I was talking about right from the beginning. Somehow, every time you mention that you are a traditional Gujarati family, you're taking a step back, only to launch yourself forcefully to come up with an anecdote that is as interesting as any Indian jugaad. So what you did was a customization program for one of your partners, and created a win-win situation for both of you. They got their customer acquisition and you got your promotion, and that's a fantastic tie-up. Actually, it's quite strategic and exclusive in its nature. And these things we need to talk about. I'm very happy. Although I asked the question at a different end, the answer has delighted us. It's like eating a nice dollop of ice cream. When you ask something else, but you also get an anecdote as a benefit. So that's the pretty interesting exclusive tie-up with Australian chef through Swiggy, and they do all the promotion and they promote your sensory branding tactics through their app, and they pay all the money for all these promotions. That's a very interesting win-win situation that you've created. The other thing which I don't want to undermine is what you have mentioned in terms of what will go wrong attitude. The what will go wrong attitude, maximum kya hoga? We will refund the money. We will try and test it out. I think that risk-taking appetite for you in F&B business itself is quite interesting, in spite of the threats that you have from the WhatsApp universities these days, because it can go viral and it can damage. But then you have been testing, you've been very agile to come with solutions, and then you have created a product which it doesn't melt, and you have successfully delivered. I think that's the second one. And that experience itself will create the word of mouth. So you have done that in worst of the times for best of the experiences that one can desire for. That's a very, very interesting point that you mentioned. So from here, one more small question on sensory branding, and then we'll go to the business aspects. That is, what do you think will be the constraints to adopt sensory branding for startups? You are a well-established organization, you're not a startup, and your thinking is very, very different and agile. But for startups, they also require sensory branding. What do you think will be the constraints for them?
See, for sensory branding for startups, again, it depends on what kind of product line they are there. For example, if there is any kind of startup which is into F&B space, for F&B space in sensory branding, again, I added, like when I started my journey for Creamstone, it is not only one particular aspect. So this is your question, this is your answer. It's nothing like that. It is not like 1 + 1 is equal to 2. It has evolved. For a startup also, if he is in a F&B, I understand F&B business. So I'm talking about F&B business.
Correct.
If any F&B guy, if anyone wants to put up a cafe, any kind of store, he has to create his own identity. What will be he known for? What is his USP? He has to identify his USP. Then he has to focus on his USP, and he has to create that kind of experience as per the USP. My USP is customization of ice cream.
Yes.
My USP is customization of ice cream. I'm an ice cream manufacturer. At the same time, my USP is also I serve in the car. That is also one of my USP. None of the brands serve in the car. No other brands serve ice cream in a car. You just go, just give a horn, and guy comes to your car and takes the order and serves in the car. Not all brands do that. That is also one of the USP. So what is what I can share in sensory branding is, there are so many other factors. What kind of emotion you want your own store? It might be just a startup, but there will be some kind of, the kind of color combination you are using. Many people think, why to give branding and all? We put some name. It will come some kind of name, put some color in the store and just start something. It will not sell. Today, products everybody sells. Even a roadside vada pav guy also will sell vada pav. But how you create a brand? With some same vada pav, people have created big brands and they have taken a lot of funding. If you just Google it, there's so many brands who have taken a lot of funding and they've created vada pav selling as a concept.
Yes.
So you create as a concept. Do anything but do it in a style. If you want to sell vada pav also, you do it in a style. Create a beautiful cart, do something different. That at the end of the day, your approach has to be, you are not just selling one product. You are selling an experience. Today, experience will sell. Products, everybody is selling. How are you different from others? You are selling an experience. Today, there are so many cafes in Hyderabad. People go for an experience. People just don't go to drink a coffee. Just for a hot coffee or that coffee, people are not going. How Cafe Coffee Day got evolved? It's a place to hang out. Just to do a meeting, people go and they go there and they take a coffee. Just for drinking coffee, people don't go to Cafe Coffee Day. They go, they sit for, it's an experience. They have a music, they have good service, they have good sit out, they have a sofas, they have a service. They have a finger food, light food is there, where you can chit chat and you can hang around with friends. It's an experience. So what for a startups, what is my view is, it may be any kind of business. You focus as a, take it as a concept, build as a concept, and make sure you know who is your customer. That's a basic. Actually, 80% of the businesses don't know who is their customer. They say, I am for everybody. You can't be for everybody. In Creamstone, I can't say I am from everybody. I can't say that I'm also for a roadside guy who is driving auto. For 10 rupees ice cream, you don't get in Creamstone. I am for a particular niche. You do your homework right. Whom are you catering? Are you catering to middle class? Are you catering to upper middle class? Are you catering to youth? Are you catering to what kind of audience? What is the age group you're targeting? As per the age group, you design your store. As per the age group, you do your branding exercise. Just for young kind of thing and you're focusing only to elders above 60, it will not work. So what I want to drive is, you have to be very much specific about who is your target audience, what kind of customers you are focusing. For that kind of customer, what is the appropriate branding exercise to be done? What kind of appropriate colors have to be used? Colors also plays a very important role.
Yes.
If you do ice cream space, you do pastel shades, you do something appealing kind of thing. If it's some other restaurant and it's a conceptual. Nowadays, conceptual restaurants sell food. Everybody sells butter naan, butter paneer masala and all. Why people go to particular chain of restaurants and all? They also, but they're selling an experience.
Yes.
So end of the day,
Amazing.
you is purely create something, a concept, create a USP, know your target audience, and you accordingly you move forward.
Great. I think there are a lot of tips for the startups to understand the constraints, not only understand the constraints, but what to focus on, creating your own USP and executing that in differentiating yourself. And there are lots of other factors with respect to sensitive branding, with respect to basic tips of business itself that Virenji, you have mentioned. It's very good. Now, one specific question back to you from what you have spoken. Color is very important, brand colors. For your own brand, you have created what is called pastel shades, light pink is what we have seen. You started this brand in 2009 around the time, but even before that, there were many other ice cream brands, just as general competition, ice creams and frozen desserts category that we read in textbooks. There were brands, top 10 brands were there, and even now there are top 10 brands by volume and by sales and revenue. There are other brands. You had to obviously choose a different color. You couldn't have copied the color that other ice cream brands, because ice cream means it has to be pleasing, it has to have a pastel color. These are broad rules. But what was the process involved and how did you arrive at those colors that you have chosen for Creamstone? Can you please explain to us so that we learn from the process that you had undertaken?
Yeah. So to be very frank, when I first launched my outlet, it was not Creamstone. It was Coldstone. We were not aware they are registered in India now. So we launched our store called Coldstone, not Creamery, Coldstone Concepts. We launched our store. But there are so many customers who are coming. Is it a US chain? Is it a US chain? In the first month itself, we thought today we have one store, anyhow we will grow. So everyone is coming and asking, is it a US chain? So immediately the third month only, we changed our name to Creamstone. And that time our logo was different. Up to 1 to 5 stores, 1, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th store, our Creamstone logo was different. It was in purple shade and the length of the store was different. But when we wanted to enter Bombay market, when I told you that we want to enter in Bombay and all, then we approached many consultants and all. That time we are going to Bombay. How will this? We want to really make a very good lively store and all. Everyone said your logo is not so lively. You have to change your logo. And we thought, again I told you, it's a traditional Gujarati company. Kya karenge? Boards changing. The one board is almost 1 lakh to 2 lakhs. We did calculation. 5 boards, 10 lakhs gone. What to do? Okay, we will do a trial with Bombay outlet. And you know, Hyderabad, if I want to change, I have to change all 5 at a time. I can't keep 3 stores a different logo and 2 stores a different logo. So let's do the new branding exercise. Let's do it for the Bombay outlet. So in Bombay outlet, the first store, when we made a Bombay outlet, company outlet, we did a new branding. We had a branding agency in Hyderabad and they gave us color codes and all. This is how, the store, how you have designed in Hyderabad is typically maybe for the Hyderabadi audience. But Bombay, Bombay, the exposure is very, very high. Bombay youth is different. It's very evolving. They like a lot of bright colors. The store has to be more trendy because we never, when we out first outlet, second outlet, third outlet, as we were in the flow, how the flow was coming, we were making our store. But later we did a Bombay store and a lot of appreciation was coming. And when we posted that photo, Bombay photographs, and we showed many of in Hyderabad, oh, looks like an international brand. Many people don't know that Creamstone is a Hyderabad-based company. Many people think, oh, it's a franchisee model of some international chain or something. It was designed like that. So even see, design, color code, it's evolving. You have to upgrade yourself. Even now we are also evolving. We are also changing our concept. We are also changing our style of stores, the interiors. It's evolving. Every 3-4 hours, freshness in the store is needed. You have to add freshness in the store. We keep on renovating our stores as well. So everything is evolving. It's not like one thing we have designed and for 10, 15 years, you will keep on for following it. There's nothing some rule in it. For me, for my understanding, branding is also evolving. It evolves. Today, 5 years back, there was no Insta or in Facebook and all. People were not so active. Today, everything sells in Insta. Everything sells in Insta. Physical stores versus online stores. Particularly the sales, if you see, even for F&B business, do you know in lockdown, in one day, online sales were shut due to some police problem. One single day, all online operators, the police did not allow online operators to pick up the food and they stopped all the bikes. It became a headlines. CM has to interfere, KTR has to interfere. After Hangama happened in Hyderabad. One day online was shut and Hangama happened in Hyderabad. Why I'm sharing that example is it's evolved. Every day is evolving. Today in my store also 25 to 30% business goes in online. So why I'm telling that example is every day is evolving. In the same way, even the color combination is also evolving. Keep on renovating, keep on changing colors. What colors you are using today is not compulsory. After 5 years, same colors will be there. Even in our scoops also, earlier logo was different, and in span of time we have changed our logo also. You see any big companies, everyone not changes the entire logo, means they will just try to add more freshness to the logo. That is what is my answer.
Fantastic. I think the core of the logo will remain, the structure and the core values of the business will remain, but as per the needs of the time, the other experiences will be added on, and therefore branding is quite evolving in tune with the times that we are living in. I think you have very nicely explained with the examples of how the color combination and the design has been arrived at, and how you tested it in a different market and later extended that to all the other stores across the country now. However, the excitement that is waiting, that is for us to wait and see is what will be the new color combination for Creamstone outlets in the years to come. That is going to be something which we will be waiting for. Thank you very much. And one last question before I hand it over to Professor Prasad for the next cluster. Is there any negative feedback did you receive at any point in time about your product? You can highlight any one example and also tell us how did you handle that?
Sir, we get many negative feedbacks, not one. And it's a way to handle the negative feedback is also very important. How you handle negativism is also absolutely very important. So within our team, we have a couple of people who handle especially negative feedbacks. When many people say, like example, I'll just tell you, we ordered the ice cream, we came to the store and took the ice cream. The ice cream taste was not good. It really, my entire day, it spoiled my day. So what we do? So my team took an action. We tried to call them. We tried to send a small ice cream cake as a sorry. Initially, see, once you grow, for each and every customer, it's really very difficult. But small things nowadays. So one negative thing, they'll put it in they write in the foodies group, they write it in the, one, and they keep on circulating. This kind of issues we have also faced many times. But how you practically, and even in today's world, any issue is there. If anything is gone wrong, we accept, yeah, we were wrong. For example, there's nothing wrong. If anything is gone wrong, yes, sir, you ordered for chocolate cake, indirectly it went butterscotch. That was our fault. If you have made a mistake, agree to it. 50% of the people, once you agree your fault, no, many people argue. No, sir, I think you have ordered this, you have ordered that. No, you put many times they in the negative in the ice cream, they put they say in the below without nuts, make ice cream without nut, but they add nuts and they don't see art in. It's our mistake. We apologize. We have made a mistake. We apologize when we refund, and we also try to deliver to their store, to their houses and all. So what the ultimate key is, if you are wrong anywhere, you kindly accept it. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. When something goes wrong, you accept it. 100%. What the worst will happen, very? What will worst will happen? He will get angry. Okay, you accept it, no problem. But in our view, when you accept your mistake, we have seen in 90% of the cases, it will really not escalate at all. They don't escalate at all when you agree. Yes, sir, we were fault. Some mistake has happened. This thing has happened. So what is my take? My take is, if you have gone wrong, there's nothing wrong. We are also, everyone is, we are also people. People will only make mistakes. So nothing wrong in it. We accept our problem. Whatever the problem is there, if anything is there which has gone wrong, we accept and we apologize, and that's how we move forward. Simple. And we tell our team to see, there is nothing called you have to be shy or you should be afraid of. If you have made a mistake, agree to it. There's nothing wrong.
Yes. What you're saying is that there is a way to handle negative feedback, and the first and the foremost principle is to admit that you have made a mistake if you have made one. Have a fair discussion with the customer, appease the customer with additional service and delivery, and it is okay to make mistakes in the sense that it is human to err, and also it takes a very open person and a courageous person to admit and get going and move forward with business. I think that's what you have very nicely explained. So thank you very much, Virenji, on that cluster. What I'll now do is I'll request Professor Prasad to come in. Probably there are a couple of questions in the next cluster, and we'll come back for wrap up. We are already at 9:05 p.m. and
I think I've taken a lot of time of yours. Half an hour.
No. You're serving ice cream to us, so we are enjoying. So, Professor Prasad, for the next cluster, please.
Thank you, Professor Rao. I think you've added two more values. One I found is that of co-creation. I mean, in many of the examples that you've mentioned in your responses, including the Swiggy one, there is some level of co-creation about what they do, what you do, and whether it sells. And the other one, I think, which is a very important management principle in current times, about failing quickly. Experiment and fail quickly, move on to. And that theme I find coming right from the beginning. So coming to the first question in this cluster, you mentioned about target audiences, and somewhere earlier you mentioned about the courtship group, people who are courting and that they remember. So there's one persona that you mentioned about the kind of people who come, and you must have observed the kind of profile which comes to your stores. So if you look at courtship as one persona, what other dominant persona do you see at your stores?
We see a lot of celebrations, sir. We see many celebrations. People come in groups. They celebrate their birthday. If anyone's, generally, it's a eating out. People go to restaurant. They want to just chill with their friends. One problem also we face in that. Chilling out is a big problem for me also, for my industry. But we also handle that. It's also one of the challenge. What happens? 5 of the friends, let's catch up. Where? Creamstone. Okay, 5 cars will come. 5 cars will come. My parking is only for 10 cars. 5 cars, 5 friends, they come, sit, order 2 ice cream. See, ice cream is they share. Ice cream is like, it's not like people just come to eat an ice cream. It's an experience. They come, sit in the car, stand outside of the car. Sometimes what happens, I see all their neighbor 20, 30 cars, all orders, all ice creams are served. Payments are also done, but public is full. So I'm just sharing my experience. So what happens sometimes, a car is getting blocked for 30 minutes, 20 minutes, but it's okay. People are enjoying it. People are having a great time. So I know if they move fast, maybe there will be more additional 10,000, 20,000 business for me, but that is not important. What is important is that people are enjoying it. They are chilling around. They are standing there, chilling around. That is important for us. So that is how they are like many celebrations happen. Many people have their birthday, anniversary. Many people have outstation people at their house. So they wanted to take them to somewhere they can remember. So I know so many people of them. Any guest comes, they get them to a creamstone as an experience because many other cities don't have this kind of concept. So they love the ice cream. They come to the counter. They take a videos. They create an experience for themselves. So we have seen many this kind of people who are coming to our stores.
Excellent. I think you've further elaborated on the target groups, and I'm sure that you have designed around that in terms of how you have looked at the parking lot as well as how much time you are okay with that, as well as the pricing that you have done accordingly. I think these are very, very useful things. Courtships, celebrations, chilling out, remembrances, lots
Yeah.
lots of moments which are coming out when you look at what you're saying. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely.
The next question is is about the usage of technology. Now you're a premium brand and you have a lot of experience creation. So how have you used technology? How do you plan to use technology? Not just the IT is one dimension. You also have materials. You also have your spacing and your location. So can you delve on that?
Yeah, sir, technology in course of time, we have adapted to it. For initially, for first 20, 30 stores, we were using the billing solution, billing softwares. Then we switched to a couple of software like billing software. Many couple of brands were there who were giving us POS solution. Then later we tied up with Frugal. They developed as per the customization how we wanted it. They incorporated. So for us, main thing is service. Service. We wanted a vendor who can really give a very good service. Who can really give very good service. Because for me, at the night time, between 9 o'clock to night 1 o'clock, heavy traffic flow is there for my store. Lot of bills get generated. Suddenly the system gets hanged. Suddenly, because at a time we are doing so much billing, suddenly at that point of time at night 11:30, 12 o'clock, who will give service to me? So we had a tie-up with a couple of vendors who are giving us software solution. They have dedicated one or two people who give us a service night. That was our part of agreement. We have paid little premium for them because they are providing that kind of solution to us. See, IT, there are so many SAP. So I am not into SAP and all, but we have made sure that whatever the currently it's evolving. Even today, my backend is not fully automated, but slowly we are getting used to it. So currently all my billing software, the billing part, the front end, everything is automated. I can, from my mobile, I can see in which city, which store, the real-time basis, how much is the sale and all. Inventories is already done. So plus now sourcing has to be automated. Automation has not yet happened in sourcing. I want everything to be in one click of button. So we have many old people within our organization. We just don't believe if they're not able to do just change the manpower, because there are many people who are with us for last 15 years, 12 years, 10 years. They are not so much enthusiasm in adapting to the change in IT systems and all, but it's evolving. We are also trying to train them and trying to do, but we want to retain them because we have faith in them. They have faith in us. So it is taking our own time. We are developing them. We know we are developing them. It will take time. It will take 2-3 months more or maybe 6 months more. But we are okay to it. Because the main thing today, you don't get trusted people. Today, when you have trust in them, when you have seen them, when required, they are there 24/7. during COVID time also, when entire city was in their house, they were on their toes delivering. They had so many problems. We had passes for them. They even after 6 o'clock there was a curfew. They used to come. They used to rush to their house, taking taking so much pain. They used to come. The risk also was there. The entire family was in risk if anybody gets COVID or all. But we have taken care of them. They have taken care of us. So when we needed, they were there. When they are needed, we are there for them. It's purely that kind of bonding what we have with our employees.
I think that also gives a lot of insights. I think the first thing that I could understand is the human touch.
Absolutely.
You have looked at the human angle, and it's not that there are a lot of top of the line contemporary technologies which you could use in so many areas. You have looked at priorities that you have, and I think you've looked at sourcing as of now, and you've also looked at the human touch, and you're going about it at a certain pace, and you're okay at that pace because the people element is more important than the technical element at this point in time. So I think these are some of the insights that I get from that on your approach to technology. We have a couple of more questions, but I'll hand it back to Professor Rao. I think we are running short of time. Yeah, right. Thank you.
I thought you would ask more questions, but anyway, what we'll do is, as you know, Virenji, the per capita consumption of ice cream in the US is stated to be 20 liters per person per year. And in UK, it is about 9 liters per person. In China, it is 3 liters per person. Whereas in India, it is still at 400 milliliters. How do we, what do we have to do with various stakeholders to increase the consumption of ice cream in India?
Yeah, that's a very valid question, sir. So first of all, if you compare with other countries, Indian culture is different. The way India thinks is different. The way consumer behaves is different. In US, it's heavy snowing. If you go to Chicago and now it's if you see outside, it is totally white carpet, totally snow. People love to have ice cream. Their consumer behavior is different. In India, if it rains once, don't eat out, you will get cold and cough. Simple. Last month, we have seen dip in our sales. Last month in January, entire food and beverage industry, there was a spike in COVID cases. As a spike in COVID, don't have cold items, don't have cold and all. Even in wedding, see, the biggest thing what we have seen in India is when you want to pay, when you want to pay and take anything, there will be a lot of issues, cold and anything. And last month, there were so many weddings for 1,000 people, 500 people, 600 people. Entire 600 people had ice cream. That time, there will not be cold or cough or anything.
I'm enjoying as you are giving the examples.
So, this is a live expertise. These all things are not available in business school, sir. So I am just sharing what I am seeing personally. In a wedding of 300 packs wedding, they've ordered for 200 ice cream. The shortage of ice cream, they again have to send 100 ice cream.
Got it.
I was thinking people will not eat because of cold and cough and all. Everybody is enjoying ice cream. When they want to buy an ice cream to a store and go, that time they say COVID, cold, this say that, they'll tell 100 things. So, but even though we have seen sales dip was there in stores, but in wedding segment, people who were planning for 1,000 packs party, they have reduced to 300 or 200 or something. Volumes have come down, but whatever 200-300 came, they enjoyed the full ice cream. So, why I'm addressing this issue is how people behave in India is different. How people behave over there is different. The availability is also very important. India is a very huge market. Today, we are in an urban city. We are in a city. There, Telangana blessings. We are blessed to have Telangana government. If you recollect, before Telangana government, there was a lot of power cuts. There were 2 hours power cut, 3 hours, 4 hours power cut. There was an industrial holiday. For entire one day, there was an industrial holiday. But after Telangana government has took over for last 7, 8 years, 9 years, we have never faced any power issue. Because the power issue is there within a state is there, but in other cities, if you go and all, in small towns and all, there is no refrigerated facility. There's no cold chain. Once the cold chain increases, the ice cream consumption will also increase, because we are talking about urban market today. Hyderabad is an urban city. Hyderabad consumption is good, but you go to villages and all, there is no proper vendors. There's no electricity. There's an electricity problem. There's refrigeration problem. There are no cold chain facility. There's no cold storage available. And if they have cold storage also, per capita, the spending habit has not yet come up over there in small towns and all. People are there to spend, but they spend on what? They spend on gold. They spend on so many. The eating out culture is developing. Even you go to small towns within Telangana also, small towns, how you have culture in Hyderabad in night 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, people go for a drive and have something. If you go to small places like Nizamabad or maybe anywhere, if you go, you will not find hotels or restaurants after 12 o'clock also. You'll not find anything there's no drive out place like you go out and spend, but they have a lot of money. Rich people. Hyderabad land rates in Nizamabad and maybe Karimnagar and all on par, or maybe sometimes Karimnagar will be higher than Hyderabad. But people have money, but that eating out culture will take its own time. So the cold chain, the roadblock is a cold chain culture, can say the consumer behavior, everything matters, but slowly it's growing.
Yes, very optimistic to learn from you that it's slowly growing. It's about culture, it's about infrastructure, more than what we see in other countries. Other countries probably are more urbanized and their infrastructure is well in place. Their distribution and the cold chain that's in place is of a different order. Uninterrupted power supply is of a different kind altogether. But things are quite interestingly changing, as you've given the example of Telangana and other states. In all the states where you are present, at least, the infrastructure is extremely good. And that's a blessing for businesses like this, where you can sell ice cream and a large number of people can consume. And not only they consume, but they also consume more per capita. So that's a fantastic, optimistic note. So Virenji, there is one more question that is, initially you mentioned that your outlets, some of them have mistaken that you are a foreign brand. The colors that you have used in Bombay to start with, the Creamstone outlet, the pastel shades and the combination and the design, they say it's an international brand. So would you want to maintain that kind of positioning? Would you like to maintain that, you appear like as good as any other international brand? Would you like to maintain that?
See, everything is evolving.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be like an international brand, but I want to be as a young brand. See, because what is the target audience I am focusing on? As per the need of today's market, I want to change, the interiors, change. I want to be as per own market. I don't want to be like today, if it is a pen drive market, I want to be a pen drive operator. Today, if it's a CD market, I want to be a CD market. Today, if it is an audio traditional, that cassette market, no, I will not do cassette model. I only do pen drive. It's not like that. It's evolving. We are also learning. We are not specialists. Every day is a learning day. Few things. Our office boy has taught us few things. There is no shame. We might have studied in big colleges and all, but there's something, the ground reality, the connect, what is there, a ground reality. Only we have to keep only two things open. One thing is keep our eyes open and keep our ears open. Many people don't do. Only big AC cabins and conference hall, if you do meetings, that will be only for all jargons will only come up. But when you connect with your own team, ask their suggestion, sir, kya dikhta hai, bhai, kaisa chal raha hai? Many, our delivery boys have taught us so much. There's no shame, nothing shame in it. Our delivery boys have taught to our logistic manager. So ऐसा we will do something like this. ऐसा करेंगे तो ऐसा आएगा. ऐसे करेंगे. Temperature इसमें loss हो जा रहा है. So our delivery manager was saying, no, we'll put this system, that system. सर ये पूरा नहीं चलता सर. ये practical problem field में ये problem आ रहा है. We told, okay, go ahead with his work. जैसा बोले ऐसा करो ना. तो नहीं सर वो नहीं चलेगा सर. करके तो देखो क्या होने का है. What the worst will happen? Fail होगा ना. उतना ही ना. But try करने में क्या है? Once the guy, when the office boy is telling, sir ये करके देखो sir, अगर ये successful नहीं हुआ तो मेरा salary मत दो. He told us like that. I was shocked. What is he saying? A guy who is earning 12,000 rupees, he's telling his confidence. Let's see his confidence level. His confidence level is saying that definitely it will work. Means I wanted to give a try. Nothing wrong in it. I'm not losing anything by implementing that. And we have implemented we personally monitored for a week and it really worked. And we gave him appreciation. We gave him a token of 5,000 as a appreciation also, because he saved companies near about 1.5 lakh per month by executing that particular thing. Means why I am sharing this is there should not be any kind of ego or shame. Anyway, what happened? Senior managers in our organization are drawing 3-4 lakhs a month. They will be thinking, what he knows. I know everything. So in our company, culture is very open. A office boy, a cleaner can also reach the MD very well. No problem. कुछ problem है, phone मारो. There's a disadvantage also. Loan चाहिए sir, urgent रात में heavy sanction. HR says, sir, no badmash hai, he'll tell like that only. He took last month, he took something. चलता है भाई, अपना आदमी है. See, when our people are there, if we are connected, that is also one of the part of retention.
Very good.
But it is very difficult for the HR guys to manage. If it says anything, he knows that he will go to MD. HR manager's value will go down. I agree, which is not correct in a professional organization, but we don't want to create a big gap also at the same time. We want it to be connected. Anything goes wrong in the store, any guy is creating any problem, we get ground information. Before the manager comes to, we ask the manager, ऐसा कुछ हो रहा है तो नहीं था, ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं है, मालूम करके बोलो, क्या सर ऐसा हुआ था सर, कल रात को ऐसा हुआ था, he will say. But he will not know from where I am getting information, because entire ground staff is connected to us. So there is always a check on manager. Manager is always check on the ground guy. The area manager has a check on manager. Manager also has a check on area manager. So it's combination of everything.
So very interesting the way you are operating. What you have actually given us to understand is it is evolving, the strategies are evolving, and you would like to maintain a brand that is youthful and it appeals to as many occasions as possible so that people come there and create memories and experiences for themselves. That is at Creamstone outlets. Number two, what you mentioned is that we should always have our eyes and ears open. Ears to the ground and eyes wide open so that you understand what's happening. And that's where you pick up lots of lessons. Whoever teaches at any level in the value chain, people can teach us. You should have the openness to actually learn from them. And there's no shame in learning. Learning is a continuous exercise, and it's a wonderful practice and a value for any organization actually. And the third and the most interesting thing is what worst will happen, and your ability to inspire some people to give you suggestions because you are open to taking suggestions, and your willingness to actually try out that suggestions. What worst will happen? And then you are owning the employees and employees are owning the organization. Both of you are willing to take risks so that the operational efficiencies go up. I think that's a fantastic template you're following. So before you say that you're a traditional Gujarati family yet again, I will say, and also before you say that we don't go to big business schools or institutions or universities to learn. There's a great deal of learning by practice, learning by execution, learning on the job that you have actually highlighted. So there are great insights, and institutions, well-meaning institutions and business schools like ours, we always learn from practice. We always learn from the ground. When we interact with people like you, we borrow those aspects and then we try and keep as less a distance between the theory and the practice. And these practices are evolving. How continuously you keep in touch with leaders like you, how the students are in conversation with you or engaging with you to understand what is actually happening and how you navigate your strategies to win over the market or win the hearts of the consumers is what well-meaning business schools do. So they bring a lot of structure, but they have to be open and they have to learn. As much as you are open, you're learning from the suggestions given by people at the lower level in the hierarchy. I think those are the values and lessons that one has to cross-pollinate into the business schools and institutions. So that's a fantastic template yet again for us. So the next question is, there is a question from the audience and I'll raise that question myself. Ms. Lavanya is asking, is your USP good enough to tackle the likes of Häagen-Dazs, which has been available in select specialized food stores? It's a very specific question.
Sir, it is evolving. I from the starting of my session, everything is evolving. There is no full stop. There is always a comma. Today I am only selling ice cream. I don't know. Earlier we were only selling ice cream. Later we added thick shakes. We added milkshakes. We added some jar desserts. It's evolving. कैसा market evolve करेगा हम वैसे respond करेंगे. But before, if people, we monitor consumer behavior very closely. We interact with the customers. When we interact with the customer, we come to know the pulse, what they want, what they are liking. Accordingly, we are also evolving. Every day is a learning day. Today, I'm selling ice creams, jar desserts, I'm selling milkshakes, I'm selling shakes. Tomorrow, I might also sell a part of finger food or something. I don't know. I'm not selling any finger food as of now, but tomorrow, if market demands, I will do it. I don't know. Maybe it's evolving. But once I execute, I will execute as a brand everywhere. For example, we opened the store in Delhi at Connaught Place. Over there, winters are really very cold. Delhi winters are really very cold. So during that time, our business is really very less. So we were exploring what to do. Can we introduce some hot chocolate? Can we do something with anything to hot desserts, anything hot ice creams, or maybe something in hot? We are evolving. We are learning. Every day, see, today's Hyderabad market is different. Your Vijayawada market is different. Your Chennai market is different. Your Pune market is different. Your Delhi market is different. Your Indore is very cold during winters. So that time our sales is very less. So how do we come up? See, I focus on only one thing. If any franchisee guy is there, if company operator outlet, okay, I will think little less. But franchisee owner means I have to make him profitable. He's in a business to make profits. If company operated, okay, if I'm not selling, if I'm burning somewhere, I'll recover from somewhere. But if it's a franchisee outlet, I have to make sure it is an individual profit center. We are very, very clear. Before, we don't give franchise, just anybody applies, we don't give.
Right.
The back-end scrutiny is very, very high with our.
Fantastic. You've been reiterating this aspect that you don't give franchising to anyone who approaches you, although there are several inquiries from time to time.
Inquiries. But see, just selling, sir, many people ask, I have my own property. I have money. Whatever you say, we will invest and we will do it. What is the problem in giving to? I tell them, sir, you are very big. I can't give you. You are wearing a watch of 2-3 lakh rupees and you are coming to for a franchisee. What? How does it matter in the store if you make 1.5 lakh, 2 lakhs per month? You will not have a value because your physical appearance itself is showing you are worth some crores of rupees. We want people who value 1-2 lakhs rupees. We don't want big shots. We want people who are desperate in owning the business and running the business. That is how today in the audience there are so many people, they want to do some kind of startup. Once they're 1 or 2 stores or maybe any kind of business, they are successful. And if they want to scale up, if they are looking at partners, don't look a partner who has a lot of money. Look as a partner. If he has less money, also take a partner who has more of passion, who can develop your business, who can own your business and develop it. We need passionate people who can involve in the business and drive the business. So at the end of the today's session, what your take home should be is not just people who are giving you money and take your franchisee. Just don't want to sell franchise. We want people who can own it and who can run it.
Fantastic. Who can own it and who can run it. And that's the mantra of franchising. And that's the advice Virenji is giving to everyone. And your response to the question that how would you face specific competition? You said it's not clear right now and we are evolving. And as it evolves, we'll respond. And keeping the strategies open is a strategy in itself. So that's fantastic. I think the session has been pretty interesting and as delightful as eating a wonderful ice cream like yours. So it is a very, very thoroughly detailed kind of session in terms of your responses to various questions. There are many more questions, but I think we have to stop somewhere, and this is where we should stop. But one question I would like to ask is a very, very important question that has come from one of the participants. How do you handle waste management? Waste management is an issue both at the factory level, at your back end. It could be an issue in transit with all the technology that is available. And waste management is an issue in the outlets where customers are live present there when you are handling all these things. It is partly associated with hygiene, but largely associated with the practices of waste management and how do you make sure your concerns with environment are wedded into your business. So your take on waste management principles that you follow.
Yeah, for the waste management, in sense like you talk about within a factory level, we have our industry is totally non-polluted industry. So we don't generate any kind of heat or any kind of waste as such. But even in our stores, we don't use plastic and all. We use only paper products and all. We are not using any plastic. Even for the takeaway bags, we don't use any plastic covers and all. We use all paper bags. We use paper cups. We use a lot of things. Whatever is there, we are moving towards environment friendly. Few cities in India don't allow plastics as well. Currently, I am admitting that currently we are using plastic spoons in Hyderabad market because of a lot of, and for straws also in Hyderabad, in Telangana, many cities in the country are using plastic because we have tried with paper straws and all for the milkshakes and all, but after 2-3 minutes, that straw get bended and that experience is not there proper. But for markets like Bangalore and all, they are very strict. We use paper straw. We use paper glasses also over there for shakes and all. So we are moving towards the waste management, and there is a lot of the question is on waste management. I agree that, but at the same time, also want to highlight on one particular thing. Generally, people who scale up in F&B business, there's always a big problem of pilferage in your store. Sometimes they will not bill it. Sometimes they do things. So many times you see that some small hotels and all, they don't want to expand because they say, "Okate abbai unai naku, only one person is there. How can I expand? Cash flow ever? No one to sit on the cash counter and all." So my personal thing, how my elders have taught us, is purely you 3-4% don't go depth into it. I might there is a pilferage in my outlet. I know there is a pilferage of 2%. I know. I will see as a holistic view. This particular store I invested 50 lakhs. This particular store, the salary is so much. This team, how much is it earning for me? Is it earning 5 lakhs, 6 lakhs, 10 lakhs, whatever it is? Just for seeing for 2,000, 10,000 rupees or 15,000 rupees for 1% or 2%, I don't have to physically go and sit on my cash counter. Otherwise, I could not have created chain of stores. Pilferage is there in big brands also with big softwares also. But thoda dil bada rana. Then only you can grow. Some things you have to oversee.
Right. So you're on your way to adopting various techniques of waste management at all the touch points in your value chain, and you're also conscious that there is pilferage, and we need to have a bigger heart to oversee certain things in a larger chain of outlets like yours. This is possible, and we'll try and contain it, but invariably it happens, and this is what we have to grapple with. Thank you very much for that. There is one suggestion from a participant. Probably you can evaluate that, Mr. Viren. Krista Simon says, we suggest you to try out straws made out of coconut leaves. Probably that's one thought, and one can.
We can explore. As I said, we are always open. Yes. We have our eyes and ears open. So yes. Why not? We will try it out.
Well, thank you, Krista Simon, for that suggestion, and Mr. Viren has accepted to study that and take it forward. So, ladies and gentlemen, we have come to 127 minutes of discussion and presence on this topic with Virenji, and I think we should summarize and wrap it up and then go home or go back to eating one of the fantastic ice creams given by Cream Store. There are several highlights, and I'm going to do it in a bullet point kind of format. You said that brand is a promise, and you need to have that trust created by various elements so that they come back to you and you deliver that, whatever you have promised. Live counters create customization possibilities, and therefore there is a curiosity with the value addition that is possible through customization, and people will be always interested in that. Jo dikta hai wo bikta hai principle is very important. Therefore, appealing colors, appealing to various sensors through sensory branding is important. Not just dikta hai, but how it creates the memories, how it creates the occasions, how it creates the touch and feel, and the way you experience the store itself. The golden rules that you have for franchising is very interesting, and I'm sure your focus on unit economics and trying to be sustainable and sustainably profitable for the franchisee is an amazing value, and that is going to hold the business in good stead. Not just yours, but your advice that everyone else will be should be looking at these kind of activities. The smart promotions that you're taking up with collaboration with stars in the movies is a very interesting aspect, and your focus on technology in terms of zero defect and zero effect kind of thing is a very interesting lesson for us to learn. And I'm sure from where you are currently in terms of 87 outlets, I'm sure you'll go gallop into hundreds of outlets as you grapple with the two poles and balance. One is, in due course of time, how do you fully automate? And some of the examples and videos that you've shown is an automation, but automation is basically trying to tell you that your ice cream is untouched by human hand. But the spirit of the business that you run is always with human touch or human face. I think between these two, the entire discussion that has happened today, this evening, was fantastic. And as they say, if you want to sell, if you want to please everyone, sell ice cream. But even by selling ice cream, you cannot please everyone, as you have highlighted. You need to constantly keep your finger on the pulse of the consumer, study the consumer behavior with agility, adapt to change, and then you will be able to come up with evolving business strategies, evolving customer-centric strategies, and then you will win their hearts and you will win the business. So I think it is easier said than done. Although everyone loves ice cream, there are various trends in terms of innovation, ingredients, in terms of shift towards veganism, in terms of shift towards non-dairy products, plant-based product requirements. All these things will have to be addressed in due course of time. And with support from government and evolving cultural habits, we hope that the per capita consumption of ice cream will go up from at least 400 milliliters to at least 1 liter per person per year in the years to come, at least in the next 5 to 10 years. And I'm sure it will take a little more time also. But with interesting concepts like Creamstone, the country is bound to increase its appetite for ice creams, and their yearning for newer concepts will always be addressed by dynamic entrepreneurs like you, Virenji. So thank you very much for actually making our day. It's a very interesting session, and I'm very thankful to you that you have come across our platform and you have shared your values, you have shared your lessons, and in your own unique style, the typical traditional Gujarati family, the Indian Jugaad attributes, and your beliefs in creating your own USPs and unique features and maintaining those things throughout, and then steadily and slowly changing and evolving the formats and the way you appeal to the consumers. Everything has been very fantastic. And I once again bring it back to you that in spite of the fact that a lot of lessons are learned on practice, on the job, in the industry, on the ground, there is a greater requirement to marry the structure of an institution and a business school. I think you yourself has done that. You have studied at Indian Institute of Management, Ahmedabad. Your program there is a very noteworthy program. And I'm sure if it remains at the back of the mind, other things will focus. But education is something which will not be visible tangibly in front of you, but you will be intangibly governed by education, and then it will work wonders. We will invite you to our business school one day. You can talk to our kids. Today, the people who are on the screen are not our students. They are practicing managers or practicing educators or working professionals with an average work ex probably around 6 years from across the country with various sectors like technology, engineering, education, sports, various other forms and sectors that they come from. Everyone is here to learn the leadership lessons. And I hope today we've been able to serve some lessons with the interaction that we have organized with you. So thank you very much. Virenji, once again, thanks on behalf of all of us here. It's been a very interesting session. And we would like to also thank all the participants who have relentlessly stayed with us and supported us for every session. And we will continue to see you without any interruption on every Friday at 7:30 p.m. with our leadership conversations. So till we see you next week on February 18th with yet another leader, with yet another industry or yet another sphere of life where we can learn leadership lessons. Do take care and let us have COVID appropriate behavior. The third wave is not over, and all of us will have to understand that we will all be safe only when each one of us is safe. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us, and we'll see you next Friday at 7:30 p.m. on February 18th. Good night.